Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with RWBY Vol9 Ch6. So, a couple episodes back, I talked about how I don't like when the people who make the show, the staff, the crew, the um, storyboard artists, and whoever else, I don't like it when they overly hype up an episode because it gets your expectations to a certain point. Even if it's a show you already love, like RWBY in my case, it gets your expectations to a certain point, and then the episode just doesn't measure up. It's most of the time, if you're hyped up that much, it's not going to measure up. And with episode 4, with chapter 4 of Volume 9, it was way too hyped up. It was excessively hyped up. People were constantly going on about it, talking about how it was this big episode and everything, and it's it was a good episode. Delved into the team and their mental status, not statuses, their mental states, and just everything they were going through at the time, especially RWBY. And that's great, and it's great. It was great to see the triumphant moment of the rest of the team being able to come to terms with everything that's changed and who they've become, and be proud of being huntresses. But even with that, even with RWBY's continued downward spiral, it didn't live up to the hype they were going on about with it. And I'm saying all of this because it's happened again. The hype in the days leading up to this episode has been so high. It's been probably 2 or 3 times as bad as episode 4. And this time, not only are the people who worked on it hyping up, but they've also told other people, stay off of social media until you've seen the episode. Because you will get spoiled. People will be talking about what goes down in this episode. And it's so you're telling people to not spoil others, but then you're admitting it's going to happen anyway, so why bother? But just don't go on social media until you've seen the episode. Now, mind you, that's what I do anyway. I tend to avoid social media on RWBY Saturdays until I can watch the episode. But I don't like that they are doing this, that they're hyping this episode up so fucking much, and everybody's losing their minds over it. And the worst part is that the fandom already has a good idea of what's going to happen. I'm not going to mention it here. I'm not going to mention it until it happens or doesn't happen or whatever. I'll mention it, I guess, in the afterthoughts either way. But the fandom has been talking about it all over social media for the past week. They've already been comparing it with episode 6's, chapter 6's of previous volumes. And it's they're saying oh, this is definitely going to happen. That's why the crew is hyping it up so much. And it's ugh. I think I even heard that Barb herself, Yang's VA, Barbara Dunkelman, I think I even heard that she was warning people to stay off of social media and everything. It got real. It's really bad. Even if something big is gonna happen, it's just don't hype that up. Don't hype that up. Just tell people always to stay off social media until they see the episode. Don't hype up an episode when it's gonna come out. Talk about it as much as you want in the days after. But when it's coming out, don't hype it up, and it's not gonna. It's still gonna get a lot of attention. People are still gonna talk about it, but you don't hurt the expectations by raising them too high of the viewers. Because I'm really fucking worried that this episode's not gonna live up to the hype, even if it's really good. I'm worried, especially after episode 4 did that. I'm worried it's not going to live up to the hype. That it's going to have been hyped up so damn much that it just feels disappointing because of it. And that's just... I just hate that, Maybe that's just me. I know there's a lot of people who watch trailers and stuff. I don't even do that because trailers are spoiler heavy as shit. Like for the Owl House, for example. I know there's a lot. There was a trailer released for the final episode, and I know there's been some reactors that have put up reactions to it, and I'm like, nope, not watching that. Because I don't want spoilers. And it's like, how can you... I don't understand how other reactors can watch a trailer. It's like you're spoiling yourself on what's going to happen. I just don't get... It's fine if you do. I'm not, like, going to shame you or anything. It's fine if you do. I just don't get it. Personally. And so it's like, all this hype basically spoils you for the episode. It doesn't tell you what's going to happen, but it can. It can make you guess at what's going to happen. And again, the fandom is going nuts with this one big specific theory about what's going to happen this episode, and they're probably fucking right. So I was basically spoiled just because of all the hype surrounding this, because people just don't know how to shut up and just watch episodes as they come out and not hype them up to hell and back beforehand. And I'm sorry if I seem really angry about this. I'm actually in a little bit of a sour mood right now, just from other things. Not going to get into that here, but so just talking about this has made my already sour mood even more sour. So we're just going to get on with this. We're going to get on with this, and I'm going to hope that it at least lives up to the hype, or at least it's good enough to where it doesn't hurt my enjoyment that much. I'm just really hoping that the overhyping that everyone has done does not ruin this episode for me. Especially with where we left off, with Jean being revealed as the rest of the night, which everybody saw coming. Like, that was super fucking obvious. But the question kind of remains as to how. Did he come there, like, some point in the past, even though he was the last to fall? Did he see and meet Alex? There are some people who are thinking it's not really the same Jean. Some people have said it's maybe an illusion by Neo, which is stupid. I think that's a stupid idea. But some people are saying, like, maybe Jean was ascended and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. No, I think it's just Jean. I think he just arrived there much earlier than everyone else, because time doesn't work the same here, and he's just been living here for over 10 years at least, and that's why he seemed so fucking relieved to see them and everything, and why he was so relieved when he removed his helmet and says, like, you're finally here and stuff. Is that I'm just thinking he's been there a long time. The idea that it's not the real Jean, just, I don't like that idea. For multiple reasons, but I just don't like it from a writing perspective either. I think it would be a dumb move to make. Anyway, like I said, we're gonna get on with this. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's see what they've got in store for us now. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. You guys were probably expecting maybe a bigger reaction from me regarding the kiss and everything, but the thing is, while, yes, I absolutely love queer representation in media, this just made me feel really sad for the RWBY and for Barb and Aaron, because this has been confirmed since Volume 6. Them standing up to Adam, holding hands while they do, telling him, I'm not protecting her, she's not protecting me, we're protecting each other. It's like, that was so blatantly confirmation. And afterwards on the airship, you see them holding hands. You see, I believe Blake is the one who leans her head onto Yang's shoulder. And then in Volume 7, Nora directly comments on it because people, for some reason, did not get it yet. So the RWBY had to write in that Nora directly commented on it and made it so obvious. And people still didn't get it. People were still saying throughout Volume 7 and Volume 8, it's like, oh, when are they going to confirm Bumblebee? I wish they'd just confirm it already. It's like, they don't need to fucking kiss to be confirmed. Everything was so blatant that there was no other way you could read it in Volume 6 than they were together, than they loved each other. But people still didn't fucking get it. Barb and Aaron pretty much said it multiple times. It was so fucking blatant. And people just like, oh, they didn't kiss, so it's not real. It's like, I hate people. I hate people so much. This didn't feel natural. And I'm not saying it was bad or anything. It wasn't. They worked in the idea of like that these two had to admit it and open up to each other about it and finally like say the words. Like the way that the RWBY worked it in, it's like, okay, fine, fair enough. But the fact that it had to be said like this felt so unnatural. Because it's like, it was already obvious. It was already blatant. This feels like solely that the RWBY had to do damage control because people are so fucking dumb and can't read between the lines. They have to have everything spelled out for them. They have to have their hands fucking held. They can't fucking just read context clues and understand that not everything needs to be shoved in your face. I'm sorry if I seem a little peeved about this. But it was the same shit that happened with Korrasami at the end of Legend of Korra. Bryke were not able to put a lot of canon representation in their show. They were not being allowed to. So in the final episode, they just put a simple shot of Korra and Asami holding hands, looking lovingly into each other's eyes, because that's all they could get away with. And so many people were saying, like, that's not actually proof. There's no actual evidence that they're together. They didn't kiss or say I love you. So much so that Bryke eventually had to come out and they had to tell the fans, this is what this means. They're together. They're in love. They're girlfriends now. Deal with it. The fact that this has had to happen again is so fucking irritating. There were still people who did not believe Korra and Asami were together until the comics came out. And it was blatantly said. And they blatantly kissed. And it's the same fucking thing here. People do not understand how to read context clues. The difference here, the biggest difference, is that Rooster Teeth wasn't bound by that. Or the RWBY specifically wasn't bound by the same restrictions that Bryke were when they made Legend of Korra. Bryke weren't allowed to put that representation in. The RWBY chose to do it more subtly. They chose to not like shove it in your faces and hold your hands because they had that choice. And people just could not read context clues. And so they needed to put this into this season because people just weren't fucking getting it. They needed to put this into the season and literally handhold this fandom's fucking hands so that they would understand that these two are together. It was a completely needless scene. Was it a nice scene? Yes. It was a beautiful scene. It was fabulous. I love this for them. I absolutely adore Bumblebee. They're adorable. They're cute. I love seeing them kiss. It's great. But the irritation I feel over the fact that this had to happen like this just to get it through the thick skulls of these idiots is beyond infuriating to me. There were so many people I've even seen saying that there's no evidence that these two have any love for each other. I have seen people saying that Bumblebee's not only not canon, there's nothing to it. And it's like, people also didn't believe me when I said in Volume 3 that it was Emerald's semblance that was causing the illusions when Yang hit Mercury at the Vital Festival. People thought it was Neo. I'm like, no, it's clearly fucking Emerald. You people are dumb. I was right. They were wrong. Ugh. I want to make it clear. My anger here has nothing to do with the episode. My anger here, I'm not angry at the episode. I'm not angry at RWBY. I feel bad for RWBY. I feel bad for Barb and Aaron. I love what the episode did. It did a lot, and there's more I'm going to be talking about here. I needed to let this out. And this is what I was talking about in the pre-thoughts, obviously. Talking about the thing that, like, everybody knew this was going to happen. Because of how much this was being hyped up, everyone knew this was exactly what they were hyping up. It was everywhere. People were talking about it. It's like, oh, they're obviously going to kiss. Previous chapter 6s of previous volumes have had a lot of Bumblebee focus and had a lot of shit for them. I believe it was the volume 1 or 2. I think it was volume 2. Yeah, because it was with the dance. But chapter 6 of volume 2 had, like, Yang telling Blake, I'll save a dance for you and everything, after telling her about her and Ruby's past and everything. Everyone knew this was going to happen. And yet, there's this insane, stupid level of hype being brought about it. And people being told to stay off of social media because they'll be spoiled. And it's like, we know this is fucking happening. Not to mention the insane hype you're bringing up about it really isn't helping. It's just going to make it not live up to expectations. And it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. But it didn't live up to the expectations. The hype was too strong. The hype had it up here. The actual episode was here. That's just how bad the hype was. Because here is great. 10 out of 10 episode. The hype had it like hyped up to be like a 20 out of 10. It was that insane. I hate that the crew are doing this. I hate that the people behind the scenes are doing this hype. Stop doing this. Talk hype about it after it comes out. After, like, a day after it comes out, people will have seen it. Then you can get hyped about it. Then you can get super excited, yap all you want, rant and rave, and talk about how you love doing the music, how you love doing oh my god, my mind is... How you love doing the, what is the fucking word? The drawings. I don't fucking know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I really do. I am unbelievably heated about all of this. And again, it's not the fault of the episode. The episode 10 out of 10. Great episode. Loved it. I loved the Bumblebee scene. It was so fucking cute and precious and just beautiful. I love the representation. I want to make that very clear. I feel like I haven't made it clear enough. I feel like I've said it enough, but I feel like I haven't made it clear enough. I adored it. But it just peeved me off so much that it had to happen like this. Like, yeah, did I want a kiss to happen? Of course. But this scene was very clearly just having to shove it in people's faces that they are a couple. And again, the RWBY handled it extremely well by making it so that, okay, they just hadn't said the words, they hadn't admitted it to each other, they were hiding it in, even though it was super fucking obvious, it was so blatant, it was... I need to calm the fuck out. Jean reveals what happened after he came here. He met Alex and her brother, who we find out about. There was the theory going around that she had a companion with her. It was a pretty strong theory that a lot of people had. We have that now confirmed, and that it was her brother. And we find out that Alex was actually a bitch. That she wasn't just impetuous and everything, that she was actually a straight up bitch. And after apparently seeing a vision from the herbalist, she became not just a bitch, but a psycho bitch, who was willing to sacrifice her brother's life just to get out of there, who was willing to poison Jean just with no hesitation. And now we find out that the fucking cat was lying as well. That in reality, the tree is not necessarily a way home. That it could be, but they have to sacrifice something important to get back. Possibly it has to be the life of someone else, but it could just be something extremely valuable. And considering we have RWBY, who is not doing too well, we don't need that shit. So now the cat is gone because they couldn't be trusted, and let's be honest, they tried to gaslight Team RWBY about Jean too. It's like, oh, Jean's clearly he's clearly got a few screws loose. I don't remember exactly what they said, but basically saying he's clearly got a few screws loose, and it's like, oh, you were trying to gaslight. Pussy. No. We not falling for that shit. And I'm glad that they didn't. They also tried to paint themselves as the victim and everything. It's like, oh, woe is me. Everybody turns against me. Everybody just wants something from me. It's like, It was so very clearly gaslighting and bullshit victimizing of yourself. It's like, there is absolute, and I absolutely know there's going to be an entire subset of fans who are going to take the cat's side and see it as, oh, Jean is clearly hiding something. Jean is clearly wrong. He's lying. He's bad. He's evil. He's probably, there's still going to be a lot of people saying he's an illusion by Neo, even though that'd make no fucking sense. I don't know why this kind of shit, like, bothers me so much with the fandom. Not just with how they've been theorizing about everything and just making up stupid, ridiculous bullshit theories that make no sense, but also, you know, the entire stuff with Bumblebee and everything. It's just like, if you want to say that about White Rose, it's like, yeah, you can say that about White Rose. White Rose is not confirmed. That's just a ship. It's a ship I love. I adore the ship, but it's just a ship. Bumblebee was confirmed. You all just couldn't read between the lines. But then with this Jean stuff and everybody making these stupid theories, people were theorizing last episode that RWBY, when they were at the end, and RWBY helped Weiss in after Weiss broke down, seeing the teapot lady breaking down and everything. People were theorizing that RWBY was a Neo illusion. It's like, what the fuck do you have to be on to think that? It's like, I'm not trying to just insult people here, but that is the most crackpot theory I think I've heard in this fandom in a long-ass time. Neo would not do that. Neo is after RWBY. She's not gonna impersonate RWBY to mess with the others. She has no reason to. Her only goal right now is to capture and kill RWBY. She would sooner impersonate Weiss to trick RWBY rather than the other way around. Her impersonating RWBY would make no sense. It would be entirely against her goals. And some people are saying, like, oh, she would have already captured RWBY and then just created this fake to trick them. It's like, why would she do that? If she already captured RWBY, she would have absolutely no need to do anything further. There is nothing that would explain that. And don't even come up with the entire thing like, oh, but then if she didn't do that, they would hunt her down and find her and stop her. It's like, they probably would have no way of finding you in time to stop you from killing RWBY at that point. Your plan would not be stopped. There's no reason. It doesn't make sense. But RWBY has Crescent Rose back, but she had kind of an episode when she got it back. Jean is very clearly, like, kind of cold and jaded nowadays because of everything that has happened to him in, again, at least a decade, probably more, since he first came there. It's like, and I can understand why, and I don't know where this is going. Because there's 4 episodes left. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if all of our heroes are going to escape, who knows what's going to happen with Neo, but if all of our heroes are going to find a way to escape, how is Jean going to be turned back to normal? And if he isn't, that's going to be a massive change. If he does get turned back to normal, how's it going to happen? And will that affect his mental state? Will he become mentally and emotionally better too? There's a lot of questions that are being raised now. And the big thing is, how will they get back? Because after things were being revealed about what the tree does and everything, I'm kind of wondering, like, are they going to end up having to sacrifice someone to get back? Like, is Jean going to end up dying? Because it's like, we don't need Jean dying. We don't need another member of former Team Juniper, currently Team Orange, dying. We don't need that. That would just be kind of unfair, and especially after Penny's death last volume, which I'm not going to get into that shit show again. I've ranted enough about that in the past. I don't know where this is going to go at this point. They don't have the cat anymore. They know that Neo is sending Jabberwocker clones after them. Jean is jaded. Blake and Yang are acknowledging their romantic feelings for each other now, and kissing and hugging and being super cute. Like, that's great, that's awesome. I'm super happy for them, and I hope that they live long and happy and prosperous lives. But it's like, it's just, there's a level of stress, even beyond just the other stresses I've been letting out in these pre-thoughts and afterthoughts. There's a certain level of stress knowing that there's 4 episodes left and wondering where the fuck this is going. Because I genuinely have no clue. I genuinely do not know what they're going to do, how they're going to get out, how things are going to be fixed. I don't know. But these final 4 episodes are definitely going to be insane no matter what. And if someone does die, that's... After last volume, after the shit they pulled with Penny, if they fucking kill one of Bumblebee, if they kill any of Team RWBY, but especially one of Bumblebee, I am going to be... I am going to throw shit. Because last volume, they killed Penny off right after she became human, completely null and voiding her becoming human. And her coming back in the fucking first place. So if they kill off a member of Bumblebee after they finally, like, spell it out for the people who don't get it, I'm going to be pissed. That's going to piss me off more than the Penny thing. Much more. Because that will be a massive slap in the face. And I'm especially going to be pissed at, at all of the fans who forced it to happen this way. But again, I'll be pissed if they kill off any of Team RWBY. Though I really don't think they will. If they kill off any one of our heroes, it's going to be Jean. There's still the question of, like, could Neo possibly get redeemed? I really don't think that's happening. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I really, really want to make it clear. I really want to apologize for being so fucking angry in this episode, in these afterthoughts especially. And I want to, again, make it very clear, I loved this episode. It was a phenomenal episode, 10 out of 10. I loved the stuff with Jean. I loved finding out the backstory and his connections with Alex and her brother. Loved finding out about Alex's brother and the fact that Alex was, you know, a piece of shit. Which, kind of, I had that, a little bit of that inkling. I loved finding out that the cat was a bullshitter the entire time, which doesn't entirely surprise me. I mean, the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland was not really the best of the best either, to be fair. And I obviously love the Bumblebee admittance and kiss. I hate that it had to happen, especially in the way it did. But I love that it happened, and I love what we did get with it. I'm sorry that I didn't have a more happy, joyous, frabjous kind of reaction to that. I know you guys probably expected me to, like, cry or to be super excited and happy and to be jumping and cheering and clapping and stuff. I know you guys probably expected better, and I really do apologize, but it's just, this shit, like, really hit a nerve with me that I didn't even expect. Again, I said it in the pre-thoughts, I was already kind of in a bad mood today going into this, because, I'm not going to talk about it, but I was just left in a bad mood after something earlier, and that probably exasperated things for me. Coming into this and thinking about it the way I did, and it just escalated things in my mind to the point where I got really heated. I really do apologize. I'm sorry if this turns some of you off of my reactions. I understand. Even if it's just my RWBY reactions, I understand. I don't blame you. I want to apologize. Because I went very far with my anger. And that's probably not really fair to you guys. Especially those of you who were really hoping that I would be super happy about this. And again, I am. I very much am. You guys know I'm super gay, and I love the gay. I love the gay so much. But it's just, I'm just tired, you know? I'm tired of seeing this shit in media. Again, with the Korrasami thing, it already bothered me so much, especially with how much I love The Legend of Korra. You guys know that's one of my favorite shows. It was my favorite for a long time. But I love this show too, and it just bothers me so much. It's so annoying. And I'm just tired of this kind of crap. I'm tired that people can't understand subtlety and have to have everything spelled out for them. That if two characters don't kiss, that means that they're not romantically attached to each other. And it's just like, I'm just so done with this. So yeah, just know this is my favorite episode of the volume so far. It is a 10 out of 10. I apologize for making it seem otherwise. I apologize for my outbursts. I apologize honestly, for this reaction. I'm probably gonna go eat something to drown out my sorrows now, because I've gone from rage to depression, and that's always fun. See y'all next time.